It's time for Frank Walls. Frank talks while Frank walks. It's time for Frank Walls.
All right, some people are born just to do something, and this guy was born to kick. We're talking about Cameron Dicker, the kicker. For San Diego, I still think of them as the San Diego Chargers. They should never left San Diego.
It's interesting, not for me to say.
Not for you to say, but the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, and well, he had a good season this year, so let's go on and walk and talk about that.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Now, the most interesting moment, I would say, of your career so far, that free kick.
Yep.
It is so rare
Yeah.
that it's only happened once before, and that was Ray Wershing,
Yep.
and
Back when he was a Charger, too.
it was like the fortunate circumstances because it was a bad penalty,
Yep.
and it was kind of an easy kick.
Ended up being, for that situation,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's coming at you, 57. It's like just everyday life. You just go out there. The weird part is not having the full routine, right?
Yeah.
So it's like golf, like kicking, everything's a routine. So having the completely different routine was the only weird thing.
But yeah, but it was like, because you think of something like that happening, you think, oh, it's a 70-yarder, it's an 80-yarder.
Yep.
But the penalty, really put it on a tee for you.
I know. I was hoping we didn't have the penalty. I was hoping that maybe we'd go for the long kick because I knew we had the opportunity for it. But it worked out to be the 57, so it was nice.
You know what's amazing is, and I watch kickers like you and the NFL today.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, I'm older than you, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but 50-yard field goals were like you see like one or two a year.
Yeah.
Now you see them every week.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I was talking with Phil Dawson about this when I was deciding to come out of college or not to go to the NFL, and he kind of broke it down pretty easily. He's like, back when I was playing, I could be 80% and knew I had my job next year. In today's game, if you're 90%, you should have your job. Under that, it's kind of like, hey, we can find somebody.
I mean, the kickers today, it's just incredible. Should they move the goalpost a little bit? Because it's harder to kick in college than it is in the pros, if you ask me. Because
I
of how
agree.
the wide hash marks.
I agree, and I think your operations are better in the NFL. I think that's one of the big changes. I think guys have been talented, but you didn't have a guy holding. Sometimes you'd have a kicker who punted, but you'd have like a quarterback holding.
Yeah, it was the punt or the backup quarterback was typically the holder.
Yep. And so the backup quarterback, whatever it is going in there, it's typically not as good, and they didn't used to specialize in snapping. So when that was happening, it was even probably way worse too.
Now, you are the first NFL player born in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And you spent some formative years in China.
I did.
What was that like?
It was awesome. It was really fun growing up there. I think obviously as an adult you view things differently, but growing up there as a kid, you don't have the rules that are in place. You're just enjoying life. And I mean, we lived in a nice gated community. We were fortunate to have that. And so being in that position and just being able to mess around and have fun with random friends along the way.
And of course, you went to University of Texas and a high school that's like a hotbed of professional athletes.
Yep, Lake Travis, and then our rival Westlake came out with a bunch of guys too. But for us, on my team this year, there was 2 other guys from my high school. So that's kind of wild.
Because when you think about Texas high school football, it's probably the highest level.
Yep, I'd say so. I mean, people like to say Florida. People like to say kind of wherever else, California. I think Texas is the mark.
I mean, Texas is legendary, Friday Night Lights and everything.
Yep.
And of course, you went to the University of Texas.
I did. So was 25 minutes away from home. They offered me my junior year, and I mean, what beats that? It's the biggest, greatest school in the country. So I mean, that was a no-brainer for me.
Now, what do you think about Texas now being in the SEC?
I think it's exciting. I think everybody does. It's bigger football. Like they say, it just means more. So I've adopted that in the locker room, talking trash to guys, and so it was fun this year watching those boys kill it.
I mean, of all the SEC schools, the Georgias,
yep.
Alabama is Auburn. The only one standing in the Final Four was Texas.
I know, and I think it's going to be that way for a while.
Well,
I think Texas is there.
I think Arch Manning is going to be the next big thing.
Arch Manning's going to be huge, I feel like. So he's an awesome guy and just like a good dude in there. So it's fun to have guys that are on that big of a platform that are also just good people.
Now, when you're kicking a ball, that's all eyes are you. There's always the different plays. You have the quarterback snap, where someone's like might be looking at the receiver. You might be looking at the running back.
Yeah.
You might be looking at defensive backs. But when you're
Thank you.
there, you're trying to kick a field goal.
Yep.
All eyes are on you. What does that moment feel like?
I mean, it's exciting. It's why I do what I do. It's just that's the name of the game. And so for people, I think the difference in the level of people is how they can handle that stuff. For me, I know at the end of the day, I don't really care about what other people think. So I know, like, for me, my relationship is my faith and everything is in Jesus. And so that's my foundation. And so being able to lay back on that and know that I'm loved regardless of what happens, it's kind of, I just block it all out.
Now, I see that you're a fan of Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they're having a great season this year.
Having a great season this year. It's been awesome to watch.
I'm just hoping that they stub their toe. You know, I'm an
No.
Arsenal guy.
What?
Yeah, come on, go
Arsenal
Gunners.
just lost today, too.
Yeah. Well,
They-
that was one of those EFL games.
Yeah, but you're still competing for a trophy. Now they're out of a trophy. Another
Yeah.
year, no trophy.
I'd rather if losing that means that they could focus on the champions.
No chance. No chance any of those are happening. Mo Salah, if it ever comes there, Mo Salah's clearing the way.
I want Arsenal to win one. Come on.
It's not. I think it's going to be a while. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's going to be a while.
So, what do you have going on besides football and your off season now? What will be things you'll be doing to prepare for next season?
Right now, first like month, 2 months, it's kind of like relax, get my body back under me, start working out again here pretty soon. But I won't start kicking for about a month and a half, 2 months after the season. And then for that point, it's just travel. I love to travel. So I'll be out and about, going to Liverpool game, a Wrexham game, gonna go travel around, probably go to Scotland or something and go golf.
Now, if you look at golfers, they're on the tee all the time. They're
Yep.
kicking. Baseball players are in the batting cage.
Yeah.
For a kicker, what do you do to like? Do you like just set up and kick a whole bunch of times?
When you start going again, you kind of have your rep counts like a pitcher. I'd say we're closer to a pitcher in that regard of where you're rep counted. You go a couple times a week. So during the season, I go 3 total days a week. And so I'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. So I have 2 days off in between the game and after the game. And so I'd say it's closest to a pitcher.
Now, are there any charities you want to talk about that you feel dear to?
I've worked with the Friendship Foundation a lot, which has been a huge honor of mine. And so that's been super fun. And so they're a local one out in Manhattan Beach. And they just help special needs kids. And we have a great time working with them and just helping people feel like they're connected to the community and just engaged with everything in life.
Well, thanks for joining us. It was a good time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck. But I still want Arsenal. Go
I know.
Gunners.
Liverpool's going to go, baby.
Go
Come
Gunners.
on. Come on.